Syria's former prime minister says he's going to hand over power to the rebel group, setting the stage for the next chapter in Syria's history.
Thank you very much.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
Very happy. We are very happy.
Welcome.
Since November of 2015, more than 44,000 refugees have arrived, Syrian refugees have arrived in Canada. And with rebels now in control of Damascus, people displaced by the civil war are sharing their hopes and their fears for the future of their country. Tarek Haddad came to Canada as a Syrian refugee in 2015. He's now a Canadian citizen and the founder and CEO of Peace by Chocolate. Welcome back to your morning.
Morning.
You have shared that you never thought this regime would fall in your lifetime, and I understand that your sister is still living in Syria. The country is in a real state of what's next. What has she shared with you about what life has been like for her on the ground in these last few days?
Well, to be honest, first, this is a moment of a lifetime. I really never imagined that this would happen, and especially it happened so quickly over the past 2 weeks, but also it took almost 14 years for it to be done. Things are very cheerful. Everyone is so delighted to see the regime that killed many of our family members. 600,000 people were dead. Over 30 million between refugees and between displaced inside the country, outside the country. That's almost half the population. Ending this atrocity is certainly a dream come true for so many Syrians that they have waited so long for this moment to come true. So I'm so excited. I know my sister as well is so happy, so excited. I called my sister 2 nights ago at 5 a.m. in local time in Damascus, and she was extremely so happy, and she was just so excited to see that her kids can go out and really proudly say that they are Syrians. I know everyone in Syria has been living in the atmosphere, in a police state. So I am so happy and I'm so joyful to know that there is a bright future for my country again. And I think the country deserves every ounce of dignity that has been denied for over 50 years.
From Vancouver to St. John's in this country, the Syrian community have held rallies that mark the end of the Assad regime across the country. You know, when we see the celebrations, we see the singing, what is at the heart of that celebration?
I think that at the heart of that celebration is that everyone arrived here as refugees. They carried with them a lot of pain and a lot of trauma and a lot of loss. But we all brought with us a belief that brighter days could lie ahead. Now, as Syria steps into a new chapter, we all dream of a future where fear is gone, a Syria where families can reunite again, where children can dream without limits, and every piece of the country's shattered past can come together again with a sense of unity, with a sense of stability, with a sense of peace. I think what the moment represents for so many Syrians is a moment of hope. I know many Syrians now are proudly Canadians or Germans or Spanish. The country has actually suffered so much, Syria has suffered so much that now even my family members are scattered in 27 nations across the globe. So I really hope one day that I will be able to have a family reunion with them in Damascus. Now our family is proud Canadian citizens. We are here to stay, but we will support our home country as much as we can.
There are a lot of questions, Tarek, about what happens next in Syria. Militant group HTS, which controls Damascus right now, is designated as a terrorist organization by Canada. So what are your biggest concerns as the rebels take power?
You know, I met with the Prime Minister yesterday, and we were talking about this same point. And I told him that this moment is solely for joy and celebration. What comes next is in the hands of Syrians now to determine, without bigotry, without sectarianism, without dictatorship. Finally, people are free to determine the future of the country. They have the full capacity to build a country based on institutions, on human rights, on freedoms that they have been robbed of for decades and decades. So I think that the worst part is over. Like, this is the part that I was really focusing on the Prime Minister as well yesterday, is that the worst part of the country's history is over. Now, what comes next, I guess it's a collaboration between internal efforts, and hopefully some friends outside the country as well will be stepping in to make sure that Syria, the future, is way better than Syria, the past. I've been watching the news, and I don't know if you saw the scenes of detainees 3 floors underground. Almost 13,000 detainees were killed over the past 14 years. Many of them are my family members. So I think that whatever comes next, it won't be as bad. I really hope that Syrians will be aware. Syrians are moderate. Syrians, they learned a lot from the mistakes of what happened in Libya, in many other countries. And I think that they are ready to build a country that everyone is going to be proud of.
Tarek, what about accountability? There are calls for accountability, not only for the past leaders, but also for those who supported him.
100%. You know, I fully support accountability and bringing Assad to justice. It can't be that easy for him to seek asylum in Russia. I'm urging Canada, I'm urging this amazing country that has hosted our family since we came here to support accountability for all the war crimes that this regime has caused upon our people. So I'm really hopeful for a future where justice will prevail. I'm really hopeful for a future where peace will prevail, where people would really feel that they belong in a country that they have been robbed of for so long, for decades. So I'm praying for freedom and praying for the bravery of the Syrian people to bring all of those war criminals to justice after all those long years. And I think now we have a shot at it. Now there is a chance to rise again. You know, no one can go back and start a new beginning, but everyone can start today and make a new ending. And I think Syrians are coming together once again to make that beautiful ending, to bring everyone who inflicted so much suffering, pain, and loss upon them, to make sure that they get what they deserve.
It is hope like yours that keeps a lot of people going. Tarek Haddad, founder and CEO of Peace by Chocolate. Thanks for speaking with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
If you liked that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.